Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyday Journey. Today we're going to start a long-going segment that will probably be done over the next 6 months or so, or maybe even longer, and it may always be going on. This is going to be a segment playlist for trying to organize this shop. As you know, as you can see, this thing is a disaster. Kind of always has been, and it needs to change. So I'm going to take ideas from everywhere, mostly probably YouTube, and I'm going to try to make those ideas that I find, make them my own, but at the same time give credit for who I get the ideas from. Today's segment, we're actually going to make some vertical pegboard so that I could fill up a space right here to my right and hang some of my tools or a lot of my tools, just basically make some space or use up some space that I can't really see otherwise using up, and I'll show you why. So let's see what I'm looking at here. As you can see, I had this great idea of making a workbench. Sorry about that. A workbench here that was movable, but yet would be as big as I could possibly get in here. Whenever I built it, I actually took a full sheet of plywood and ripped it right down the middle. So I made this workbench 2 feet wide. Well, it's 8 feet long, and in order to make this fit in here, it actually goes where my shelves are here. These shelves actually are built around it. So I could actually unlock the wheels, roll this whole thing out of here, and then put it out, roll it into my trailer if I needed to, and take it somewhere and do some work. Problem with that is that this space right here is so small that I can't really do much with it. So right now I've got a router table sitting in here, and it's got to go somewhere else for now. But anything else I put in here, it's a deep pocket that, again, my shelves are, I believe these shelves are 2 feet wide also, so that it makes it to where they're 2 feet deep. And this little place here that's 2 foot by 2 foot makes it hard to reach in there and get anything. So to remedy that, I'm actually going to make some vertical shelves or vertical pegboard to go in here. That way I can hang my tools on there, but I can pull them out, get what I need, slide it back in. And then if I ever needed to, which I don't see anytime in the near future, needed to roll this workbench out of here, I could slide those shelves out of the way and unscrew the slats that I put down as spacers at the bottom, and just take my workbench with me. So anyway, that's my plan. Let's see how we got to do it. First thing, I actually got to get rid of all this stuff that's in this hole. So let me go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll come back. There we go. All cleaned out. Now we got to start by cutting our pegboard. Now, I've measured this, and what we have dimensions wise is about 32 inches tall, but I've got a little bit of overhang with the way I've made this, so I'm going to make it 31 inches tall, my pieces, and then it's 24 inches wide, 2 feet. Given the normal dimensions for your pegboard, it's 4 by 8 or 96 by 48. We need to, well, the most pieces I'm going to be able to get out of is about 6 pieces. So I'm going to go with the dimensions of 31 high, just to make sure I clear the little overhang that I have here, and also give me an opportunity to still hang little stuff up here without it getting in the way. And then we'll go with 24 inches wide so that it can go 24 inches deep into here. So we'll go ahead and get out the saw and go ahead and cut those out. Here's the last piece turned sideways. And go ahead and cut a little strip off of it that's about 3 inches or so. Now we just stack them all together, clamp them together, and make our measurement for the halfway mark, and then reset the saw depth so that we can cut through all 3 of them, and then go ahead and cut it. Alright, so now you can see we got all our pieces cut out. The only issue with this, well, let's make sure they fit first. Slide in here like this. The only issue with it is that these are, one, they're a little warped. They've been sitting in my garage. Well, it's been sitting in my garage upright and kind of bows a little bit. So, and at the same time, I mean, they're kind of flimsy. So what we need to do is strengthen that. So what we're going to do is make a frame for it. What I've got is this material here. This is, and it doesn't really matter, but it looks like 3.5 by 3/4. This is a really long piece. We actually get this at work, get materials on it, and it just gets thrown away if nobody wants it. I took some of it home. We're about to use it for this. So what we got to do is we got to make the frame pieces. So they're roughly going to be 31 inches and 24 inches, but they don't need to be this wide. So what we're going to do is, I think we're just going to split it down the middle. We'll cut it off into the lengths that we need, and then rip it up the middle, and that way we end up with 2 pieces for each piece that we cut off of here, and that will be what we make our frame material out of. So let's get started with that. There we go, there's one. Just a whole bunch more to go. Alright, so we're going to use this router table, and actually just take off the corners. That way we will have a nice smooth edge to it. So we'll go ahead and feed this through, get one piece, and then I'll do the rest myself. Alright, now we just got to cut a bunch of 45s. I'm going to start on cutting one side each, and then I'm going to test fit it, cut off a little bit, keep going until I get it just right. Alright, so messing with the cuts. Sneaking up on the exact dimensions I needed. Turns out that for the shorter one, I needed from this corner, the outside corner here, all the way to the other, I needed 24 3/4 inches. On the longer pieces, it turns out I needed 31 5/8. Dry fitting it up, it seems to fit just fine, so I'm going to cut them all to that length. Alright, so another day or so has gone by, and I actually dry fit this to make sure it worked. One of the ways that I tried pulling it together is just took some, of course these are from some blinds that I took apart, but you could use cardboard, just bend it, put it on the corners, and then take a ratchet strap and go around it, and then kind of cinch it together. Now that the dry fit went well, now I got to actually glue it. So got to go ahead and knock these off. It's a little tighter than what I had planned for it to be, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to work. For those who are trying to build one of your own, you might want to make this groove a little bit wider. That way it fits on here a little easier, but it's no big deal. We just take it apart, put a little bit of wood glue in it, and go ahead and put it back together. After it's glued, then we just go ahead and put the strap on it, tighten it down, and just wait for it to dry. Alright guys, moment of truth. The glue's dried up. We just got to take these things all apart, and then we got to make our place for it to slide into. I've actually already done it, so I'll just show you real quick what we did. But here is the finished product. Now we got a nice frame around it. Everything's good to go. Well, here we go. Here's the final outcome. Got all the frames. Everything's ready. I actually went and took some of the same material that I made the frames out of. Made slats, screwed them to the top and the bottom, and spaced them accordingly so I could put these in here. As you can see, you can hang anything you want to on them. I've got 6 vertical pegboards here that I can slide out of the way, pull out, get what I want. As you can see here, grab what I want, I can slide it back in, and it clears up and forces me to clear off my workbench right here too, which is a good thing because you know I like to clutter things up. So I hope this was an interesting project for you. If you got any questions, send them my way. Any concerns, send those my way too. Any way you think that it could be made better, I'd love to hear that too. If you want to watch more things like this, definitely like and subscribe. And every chance I get that I'm making a video like this, I'll post it out there for you and give you ideas on what you could do also. So we're going to continue this on, and we're going to make lots of videos about organizing this garage. Definitely go check out Family Handyman. They're the ones that gave me this idea. Of course, I made it different and I made it my own just because that's what works out best for me. But you can do what you like. You can do theirs, you can do mine, you can do your own. Doesn't matter, it's just the idea. So, but I'm planning on making things like this so that I can organize this whole shop. And along the way, I'm going to be taking ideas from everywhere I can, especially YouTube, so that I can make things better. I appreciate you watching. Definitely like and subscribe, and hope to have some more videos out there for you soon. Thanks.